promised a review on this movie, and I know I'm really late on this one. 2012. Oh shit, it's the year 2010. I better get my act together and get it going here before the year comes. But seriously, let's think about something. I mean, is the world really going to end in 2012? I mean, let's be a little serious here. But with all these crazy theories and prophecies and everything, of course, they gotta make millions of bucks off of us to make $1 million action movie. You know, with big name stars like John Cusack and Woody Harrelson. And what did I think of this movie? Well, I thought it was not bad. It was okay. I didn't think it was anything great. It's what you'd expect. It's Roland Emmerich for you. But I have to say, I'm really pleased with the fact that Roland Emmerich is getting back on track. After the disastrous 10,000 BC, he's kind of getting back to what he should be doing, and that is, of course, end of the world movies. And I'm sure after 10,000 BC and Godzilla, those are movies that scarred him. But I really couldn't understand is that after doing 10,000 BC, I don't know how he did so well on The Patriot. I'm really getting off track here, so let's talk about the basics of this film. Yes, it is of course about the end of the world, but I kind of felt the script was a little bit lazy and the heavy reliance on CG. There's no hiding it, of course, but that doesn't matter. It's action-packed, that's all that matters really. It doesn't really have much of a story to it. Of course it revolves around this limousine driver who's neglectful towards his kids, and his wife of course is courting this other guy who is a rookie pilot. And of course he comes in handy with escaping the cataclysmic and, you know, catastrophic events that occur in Los Angeles and at Yellowstone Park. Of course it revolves around this one guy who seems to know about everything, and they watch everybody around them die. Have we seen this before? Yeah, we've seen this in Godzilla, Day After Tomorrow, and even of course in the movie Knowing, like I said before when I told you I was going to review this movie. One guy knows about it, but nobody else even knows about it, so boop, everybody else dies. So, but if you can get through the first 40 minutes of this movie, you know, with all the slow intro and character development, and like with the Mona Lisa getting stored away, it's a perfect analogy, you know, great prediction with what they would do with the most prized possessions of the world, you know, take the Mona Lisa painting and put a fake one in its place, you know, and it's a perfect analogy of conspiracies to the government, with what they're hiding, what their secrets are, what they're doing to prepare for the end of the world. And that I really have to say is a clever idea right there. And with Woody Harrelson, of course, was like a loose cannon. I mean, who's seen Zombieland, right? He was even more crazy in this film. And there was, of course, some humorous moments, which I kind of felt they could have done well without. But it was done in a very serious tone, just like it should have been. And I can't help but see nothing but smoke, ash, dark, and some of the scientific inaccuracies. I do agree that there's a lot of them in this movie, and with all the land masses moving around. It's all chosen at random, like with Wisconsin being at the South Pole, and the Cape of Good Hope becoming the highest point in the world instead of Mount Everest. I understand most of the script is very lazy, and I do agree it's a pretty weak storyline compared to The Day After Tomorrow. But you gotta remember, it's more for the amusement. It's a fun ride. It's action-packed. That's all that matters. The beginning part starts out sort of like Independence Day. And the middle half kind of starts out more like a Dante's Peak mixture with like a plane taking off kind of ride. And then the ending is more like a Titanic movie. So, you may think it's kind of a little bit of a mess, but I don't know. I thought it was okay. And as for the Russian guy, well, of course, just like with every disaster movie, they always just gotta throw in an annoying character, which you can't help but hope he dies. And of course, he does. Sorry if I spoiled that for you, but I distinctly remember everybody in the theater applauding, myself included, when of course the woman gave him the finger when she got into the ark. And also my biggest gripe with this film is probably the last quote in the film. Why the hell would they choose that last quote? If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about, but they could have chose something better than that. But just remember, it's an action movie. It's not supposed to be taken 100% seriously, and it does have some kind of a campy appeal to it as well. But you gotta admit, Roland Emmerich is a very inconsistent director, and for the most part, he's gotten sort of back on track. But I really much prefer The Day After Tomorrow because this film was just slightly a little bit too long. Because it clocked nearly 3 hours, which I felt really could have been avoided. So, in other words, I give it just one weird remote way up, but one down. Not the best, not the worst. So, till next time, keep watching.
Get over